All right. So when we talk of surrender, first question, like any other topic, comes to our mind is, why are we talking about it? What is surrender? How to do? The benefits or what's in it for me. So just like any other topic, that is the first thing one should know, that why should we even spend some energy to know about this? Now, another issue comes is, what is the difference between surrendering and laziness? Laziness means I just leave it to the universe. Because certain time we say leave it to the universe. Certain times we are saying surrender. And then third is, I'm lazy. I just want, whether you call universe, God, inner self, higher self, doesn't matter which name you call it, it's energy. So when am I stopping doing my part and leaving it to the universe, that this is what I want, just do, I don't know how or what, and I'm doing nothing else? Is this surrendering? So if we are clear on any topic, if we know how to do, and of course, when and all those things, doing become easier. So the first part comes, that expectation. So when we are talking of surrender, we have to be very careful about the expectation. Again, there could be a bit of confusion here, because people say affirmation means expectation. Absolutely right, 100%. However, when you have an affirmation and you say, I'm healthy, or you want a new car, or you want to learn music or some new spirituality direction, doesn't matter what you want. Expectation from that is clear. However, we do not say that next Friday by 6 p.m., I want this. That part of expectation is not appropriate, not justified. You should be clear what you want, but don't tell universe how to do your job, or how to fulfill it, or when to fulfill it. Because now you are putting some expectation. This is the way it will come. This is the time it will come. And with our limited ability, we cannot even imagine how many different ways universe can bring things to you. You will be amazed. Like I have seen in my journey things that were impossible coming. The way it came, I could have never thought. So even if someone would have told me that, okay, you tell me what you want, how you want, I would have given only out of very limited choices, which I thought is the best. But the way it came was much better than my expectation. And exact this thing happens with everyone. No, I'm not a unique or something extraordinary. And only when it happens with you, the faith, the belief, and everything, kicks in. Otherwise, it's always a story, an example. But the moment, doesn't matter of your age or what do you want, the moment your affirmation starts coming true, then really, the wheel starts moving at higher speed. So when we are talking of surrender, you're talking of expectation, you have to see your alignment with your soul plan. So it's important to have some understanding. If you know your soul plan, excellent. It's a deeper topic. Still, it could be subjective. I understand that. However, it is doable. It's not something impossible. So you have to see, with respect to soul plan, where is the gap? What steps do I need to take to fill those gaps? Maybe you need to learn some new things, new topics, new directions you have to go in order to fulfill your soul plan. And then also connected with purpose of life. Now, these two, we say similar but not same, that kind of situation. So soul plan and purpose of life, of course, you're talking in the same direction. However, these are two things that the better we understand, better we will be able to surrender. So one thing which is very common to all of us, there is always something going on in your life that you may not like. It could be a person, it could be a situation, event that you dislike, you wondering why it's happening, whether it is health, whether it is your physical, mental, emotional, psychosomatic. It could be the direction of your career. It could be just in general that you don't understand why you're always sad. Doesn't matter what, something you dislike. So surrender does not mean you surrender to that pain, to the suffering. Because in human incarnation, whatever we don't like, whatever goes against our wish, we call it a pain, a suffering. However, for soul, there is no pain, there is no suffering, there is no gain, there is no such thing as good, bad, white, black. It's just pure experience of emotion and learning. That's all the soul wants. We as humans say, if it goes against my will, oh, I am having a tough time. As per generic guideline, if everything is going good, means I'm progressing in my career, I say my life is good. Against, I say bad. But for soul, it's just experience of emotion, and emotions are both kind. We call it good, bad, or whatever. So surrendering is to your soul plan, to the purpose of life, not to the pain. It's not that today I'm sick and I say I accept my sickness. I'm in pain, but okay, that's what my destiny is and I accept it. That is surrendering to the pain. But what that pain is leading towards a gain in terms of learning for the soul is what we miss. So don't worry about the pain. Try to find out what is it that you are learning from it. What emotions you are experiencing that soul is progressing towards nirvana. Soul takes hundreds of lives to move towards nirvana. It moves from mineral world to plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and then human form. So you have lots of lives in each kingdom. So it's not that you want to learn everything in one life. No. So whatever in that life soul has planned, you are progressing, so you have to experience. So let's take an example. Say you have a fear of abandonment. Now, abandonment, if you see the reverse of it, could be attachment. So to overcome that fear, you may have to experience attachment. Now, how you would feel with whom, whether it's a person, thing, or whatever it is, universe will bring in your life. And that's the beauty of our life, depending on your soul plan, purpose of life, because you have agreed to your soul plan. So, very important here is whether you say happiness or sadness, should be totally dependent on you, no one else. If others are dictating it, you will be always unhappy. If you say today, the weather was bad, I reached late, you can say, a lot of traffic, that's why I reached late. Or my boss is always yelling, that's why I'm always sad. Or my friends, or my neighbor, my relative. That means you are depending on others to make you happy. And that is one situation that you want to reverse in your life, in general, in spirituality. And when we are doing surrender, in this example of abandonment, we need to, the better we understand, the better you will be able to switch from that. So let's continue on that abandonment example. Say your mother in the early stage, childhood stage, was not able to give you what you were expecting from your mother in terms of, the love, affection, or care, or time. Mother was working, mother is taking care of the whole family, maybe she's alone, and you feel neglected, abandoned. So if we talk of or relate it to balancing of karma, you see this is the one part in your journey. When you get married, you become a mother, your child, you may have a deep attachment. Now, how would the deep attachment come? Sometime the child may need some kind of care. It could be because of physical, it could be because of mental, emotional, whatever the situation may be. In this example, we were talking about an autism kid. And once you have that situation, you need to take care. It means a lot of attachment because of care. Now, is it just balance of karma? Well, a part of it. One thing, without getting too much, because karma could be very confusing, soul plan, purpose of life, very confusing, too deep a topic. But one thing, very simple, very easy. Don't blame the person. In this example is the mother for abandonment. Why? Doesn't matter you know your soul plan or not, but if you believe in that concept, then at least one thing you would agree, that soul plan means you had agreed for it. That means two souls together came and said, okay, I will learn this from you, you will learn this from me. In my life, this will be the relationship, and please do that to me, or I'll do this to you. Now, when we are in human form, we say, oh, this person is very bad or very good, helping me or, troubling me. But it's a soul plan. And that is what we have to keep it in mind. So you may not be able to surrender unless you forgive your mother. Because when you are, with a deep negative thought against someone, when you are blaming someone, you are filling yourself with negative energy. And when you are full of negative energy, how can you be of any help to anyone? If you are not able to forgive your mother, you are full of negativity, you will not be able to surrender, because that will become your roadblock. You will be just worried about why me, why my child is going through this suffering and I'm going through this suffering, or how long will be this suffering, things like that. Now, remember, if it is your soul plan, you have to experience attachment. And this is based on your prior experience of detachment. So if we have such situation, like for soul plan, we say, analyze your life, go as back as when you were 7 years of age. Before 7 years is also important, but that time is when the child is in subconscious mind throughout 24 hours, kind of. You just gradually come down and then go towards your conscious mind. So connect the dots, find out those things, that what kind of personality or person or childhood you had. Were you stubborn? Your thoughts, emotions, whatever you can recall. Sometimes you may ask your siblings or others that, do you remember something of that time? And figure out if you can. This way you can know yourself. Now, were you physically or verbally expressive or not? Was there a challenge that you could not express yourself? You may have empathetic feeling, but if you are not able to express it, was that an issue in the past? In this example, as we are talking about autism means compromise on communication. So it is a link to the previous something. It could be the same or previous life, where you want to balance that or experience that limitation. Empathy is a very key, you can say, trait for humans, because empathy means you understand the other human. You understand how the compassion and all those things comes truly as human to human, that yes, I understand and you want to help, or whichever way. Whereas sympathy is weaker, much weaker. You just say, okay, I understand your situation, but it's good that it's not with me, it's with you. So you have sympathy, which is not as strong as empathy. Now, whether you were able to express or not, that is another factor. Now, could this be a result of your bad karmas, your sins? This is another question comes to our mind. And we think, oh, maybe I did something bad in my previous life, so God is punishing me. So remember, there is no such thing as punishment. It is your soul wants to experience two sides. So you may go through both. In one life, you may be giving. In other life, you may be receiving. So in one life, you may be a king, giving. Other life, you may be a beggar, receiving. But it is not that, oh, I did something very bad. God is not, or universe is not, or inner self, higher self, whichever way you take it, not their motto is not to punish you. Yes, it's our plan to experience. Of course, karma issue is there, karma topic is there, balancing is there, but since it is very complex, simple way, don't leave any situation on a fact that, oh, something happened and that's why I'm having, or I'm supposed to go through this pain throughout my life. No, try to see what is the learning. Whatever is learning from that mutual plan, that is the main thing. If you surrender to that learning, this journey will be blissful. Even if situation does not change, for example, the child has autism, the journey will be blissful, means you will still be smiling and laughing. You know what learning it is bringing to you. That means for soul, it's a positive thing going towards nirvana. Otherwise, as human, we only see the pain. Pain is negative. We fill our life with negative energy and we do not learn. So we miss that opportunity. And that is the biggest thing. Now, one may say, is it just theoretical, spiritual? Scientifically, I'll refer two technical papers here that they looked into this element. So again, for autism related children, first study was done across multiple countries, multiple communities, thousands of people as participant in this study, and they wanted to see the impact of spirituality on resilience of primary caregiver. And in most of the cases, primary caregiver to such kids were the mothers of the kids. So it so happens, and it's not just one place, but in general, mother becomes the primary caregiver, taking care of kids with autism. And when they saw the impact on resilience, they saw a clear result that when these mothers were brought into spiritualities, different topics, right? Spirituality does not mean just, one thing, but when you understand the concept, and again, surrendering part that, yes, I understand the concept, I see, I believe, I trust, and then you move. Then you're not worried that tomorrow my, child will be out of this autism or not. You are more on the path of learning. So yes, child will come out. Again, there are many factors which will impact whether child comes out or not, but you become positive, and that is the first step, and that is what the study brought up. Second study, which was a specific country, big group, but only in one country, and then they took care of the same topic, but from inner voice perspective. Again, when we go through some pain, the first question comes, why me? If it happens to someone, like we talk about, empathy versus sympathy. You will feel, but you are happy that, okay, it's, the other person, not me, going through this. But this inner voice thing, again, they could see when they brought those people, means primary caregiver, which are typically mothers, in the spiritual world, they got into this journey, they could connect to themselves. And connecting to your inner voice is a key thing. It is very important in our spiritual journey towards nirvana. So if you summarize kind of thing, this whole theme of spiritual journey, descent, connecting, ascent, and you could see the three demarcation, first being negative, losing hope or no hope, all kind of doubts, questions, but no real progress. Moving towards surrendering to God, you can call universe, inner self, higher self, same thing. Everything is just energy. So gratefulness, this is where, gratefulness means you're content, and not only you're content, but now you are full of gratitude because you have started understanding what's in it. Moving to the next level where you start rescuing yourself and the child, and you are coming out successful, means you started learning what to you it means as per your soul plan. Okay, this is what for me to understand, learn, and move forward. That's where the hope, that's where the, your connection to the inner voice and coming out successful. Again, What it brings to us is surrendering does not mean to the pain. Surrendering means to higher purpose. Higher purpose means why you're going through this, means what is it that you are learning out of this. Whether it is some, some kind of abusive boss at the workplace or some relationship at home or neighbors, is it giving you higher patience? Is it bringing some emotion, empathy to you? Maybe you were totally disconnected with the people, it's their business, they did wrong, they suffer, versus some empathy. So these connections will help you understand, okay, what this experience is teaching me. And if you surrender to that teaching, is the true surrendering, not to the pain. So, masters, this is our topic of surrender, which we will continue next week. Again, step by step, so that we can understand the deep-rooted meaning. And surrendering does not mean just I am suffering and okay, this is my karma and I have to suffer. What can I do? No, that is a very narrow, shallow, superficial surrendering. But if you get into deep, that is when you truly see the result, and the value means the blissfulness, the gain, and it's most important, staying happy. Doesn't matter what around you the environment is.